Dave the Sign Guy here, and today I thought I'd do a short video on my work table slash vinyl table slash masking table slash I do a lot on that table. Thought I'd do a quick video on my table. I've gotten a couple inquiries about it, so let's talk about it, shall we? How it's built. I used 3/4 inch plywood that you can get from Home Depot. It's 11 ply, which you can see right there. It's their better plywood. The more ply, the better the wood, the better the plywood, I should say. And to start out with, I built a 3 foot by 8 foot by 20 inch tall box. That box has supports every 2 feet, running the 3 feet width. I did that because I wanted that box smaller than the tabletop, so I wasn't running my feet into it all the time. Once I built that, I placed casters on it and then proceeded to build the top box. And that's really all it is, are boxes. I did the same thing. In this case, I built it 12 inches. All the materials I used were 4 by 8, by the way. So you can see a join right here where a 2 foot piece was joined to an 8 foot piece. So this table overall is 10 foot by 4 foot. And I wanted it longer than 8 foot because a lot of your materials typically come in 8 feet. So if you do exactly an 8 foot table, then you're not always going to be able to mask or lay vinyl with your roller at, you know, the full 8 feet. You'd have to move it around and stuff. And I didn't want to go through that headache. I wanted to be able to lay most things in one swash. Or one movement, so to speak. So, back to the table. I built it, again, out of the plywood, 12 inches, 3/4 inch top, 3/4 inch bottom. Again, divided it up 2 feet sections into 2 foot sections. And then down the middle of this one, I ran joining sections as well to give the center a lot more stability. I then purchased online these linear rail. And they ran about $300 for 2 of them with the bearings so that I could run basically the full length of the table. And you can see I got a little stop on this end. I don't have a stop on the opposite end only because the roller itself acts as a stop, or I'm sorry, the masking hold down acts as a stop when you get to the end. Now let's talk about the roller. This was a 52 inch roller laminator that looked very much like this 36 inch laminator that's on the floor. It's just a simple crank cold laminator. You apply pressure by spinning either both the left and the right wheel down to get the approximate pressure you want. And then you just crank it through or pull the vinyl through to adhere masking or to adhere vinyl to vinyl, or to apply to, thinner, hard signs. You can lay vinyl on hard sign surfaces with this bubble-free. I've shown examples of that on a few other videos, but for bigger stuff, it is a pain in the derriere. So I figured I wanted a table where I could lay vinyl and masking without all the hassle of running material through one of these little deals. So again, I took one of these, those 52 inch, and I literally cut it in half. And you can see that better right through here. And I'm gonna point, the halfway mark is where I cut it. I got some hard plastic material right here and made it as thick as this so that I'd have something very firm and strong to mount the bearings to. I used 80/20. In this case, I call it 80/20. It's a different brand, but it's just like 80/20 aluminum. I cut it to the exact length to stabilize the roller on both sides. And then the rest works very much the same. The only difference is rather than cranking your material through it, when you have the weight down on it, you can either crank it or simply push it to laminate or lay vinyl perfectly bubble-free. So the next thing I did, which I've had for a long time, is I just designed and 3D printed this masking holder. And what I like about this is once I have it on the table, and if I'm using quite a bit, I can just pull it straight out and change out the masking very, very quickly. It's high enough where I get a nice layer of air under it when I go to mask a project. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to halt this video here and peel this real quick. All right, I'm back and we're going to peel one section here. I got my trusty magnets holding down my vinyl for me, again because under this Lexan is a really thin sheet of steel that covers the whole table. So if you got a good cut on your machine, then you should have a very simple peel. Now, what I like to use to peel, by the way, is a dental pick. You can get them right on Amazon fairly cheaply, and they work wonderful. I tend to straighten out the hook up here a little bit to get a better shot at the vinyl, but I like this better than tweezers or using an X-Acto knife. Now, once you get your vinyl peeled, remove your magnets. You don't want those in the way. Got my roller ready. What I like to do is I like to bring the roller down till it's just touching the table and then add a little extra. That's it, simple. Roller is rolling, it's ready to apply pressure. Then I take the masking, pull it right over my project, nice and smooth. And I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. And if you look, there isn't a crease, bubble, or anything in this. Ready to go. And that's how I use my roller to mask. You notice I didn't have to do all that back and forth motion with the masking, or I'm sorry, with the squeegee in order to get good adhesion. It's perfect as it is. It's also why it's so great for laying vinyl itself. So that's a brief demo on how this table works, a little tiny discussion on how it's built. If you have any further questions, please leave a comment in the comment section and I will be sure to try and answer them. This is Dave the Sign Guy, and thanks for joining me.